On that note,
Uh-huh.
incentives. I got an idea. That's meant to reveal to people what we value in our society. I believe that proper debate needs to happen more and more. Oh man, do I love a debate. I love a good debate. I love an honest debate between two participants. And maybe it doesn't even have to be honest, okay? Maybe they're not honest debaters, but I love hearing people challenge others, challenge their opponents and their ideas, and then the other people have to actually explain it. Okay, I've seen a lot of debates that have infuriated me. I've seen debates that have inspired me. I've seen debates that changed my mind, debates that didn't move the needle at all. Any type of debate, true debate, I really love that. Well, I see when a journalist is asking questions of a politician, to me, that's a form of a debate, right? Not just the politicians debating each other. When we ask questions of our politicians, I think we're engaging in some debate. When you are engaged with your loved one or your children, I think on some level you're engaging in debate. There are principles behind debate that make for something useful, for something that's good. And I think we've totally lost that. Part of where I see that is this there are people today who can get out of debating someone by attacking their character. They're like, this person's not even worth my time. I won't debate them. Well, the more that person is your opponent and enemy, and the more you spend time vilifying them, attacking them, the more you should be willing to actually debate them. Because if you're right, then you will reveal to the people who support them how weak their arguments are. Not talking to them is the best way for them to reinforce their position, because you create these two silos and the two people don't talk, and then the David Dukes of the world can convince their group and nobody is talking to them, so they just convince each other and reinforce their beliefs. And then you have I was about to say AOC as the opposite of David Duke, but she's not the
That
opposite
works,
of David
Peter.
Duke. You have them finding their silos. So when I hear something like, Ben Shapiro challenges AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, to a debate, and he says, I'll give you $10,000 for whatever charity that you want, whatever it was, 10,000, 30,000, I think it was 10,000. And she's like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to bother wasting my time debating you. Dude's got millions of people who follow him. You don't want to reveal that he's a punce. You don't want to reveal that he's a dookie head. I'm trying to find all these clean swear words. You don't want to poop face. You don't want to poop face him. Like, show it. Like, oh, I won't even debate. I haven't seen one video where AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, debates anybody. I haven't seen one. Oh, I'm just dying to see it. I guess she got her seat in Congress by not having to debate anybody, or maybe I just missed it. But I haven't seen it. I love seeing those debates. You really see a lot of a person's character when you see them.
Well, that's
debate.
why we like the presidential debates.
But those aren't real debates, okay? 3 minutes.
Hey, you said you don't. No. I'm talking about the presidential, the Democratic versus the Republicans, not the primaries.
No, but even the big stage debates, they're not real. Like, the questions are manufactured. There's no follow-ups. It's just sound bites. Terrible.
Sure,
It's
but you said you didn't care if the
terrible.
debates were good, just that they showed up to debate.
Yeah, two people who honestly show up to debate. These two are not honestly showing up to debate. Any chance that Donald Trump could take to get out of a debate, he did. Any chance Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden did to get out of a debate, they did. They don't want to debate ideas. Like, they don't want to clash and to reveal themselves, because every time I talk, people like me less and less. So better if I don't talk. That's the strategy, and you're publicly saying this? Like, that's terrible. You might as well tell people you suck and don't look into me too closely. You're going to see buy a car, and the guy's like, oh, it's really great. Oh, you don't need to look here in the trunk. Who needs to see a trunk? If you've seen one trunk, you see them all. You're like, dude, I want to see in that trunk. What are you getting out of this for? So, true debate.
So
you're talking about real money.
What's your great idea then?
So I heard Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez say no to Ben Shapiro to debate. And I thought, okay, well, he only offered $10,000. Mm-hmm. I'd refuse to debate Ben Shapiro for $10,000. Like, that's easy to brush off. I was like, What if he had offered her $1 million to a charity of her choice, to do with as she wills, whatever? How the hell do you say no? No, I'm not going to take your $1 million, despite all of the people that I could help with that. No. Like, she was able to brush off 10,000, but could she brush off $1 million? Could she brush off? And then how high could that go? You could be like, 5 million, 10 million. Like at some point, you're going to look like a total idiot to not debate. Here's
right.
the thing. We need people in our society to start talking to one another. You got to keep the back channels open to prevent war. I don't know what movie that was in. The Sum of All Fears. I think it was with
The Sum of All Fears reference.
Oh
Jesus
yes,
Christ.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, Morgan Freeman, deep
Morgan
cut.
Freeman. Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep the back channels open to prevent war. I'm paraphrasing. I almost called my idea back channel, but I figured I'd have to explain that movie every time I talked about it. So I'm calling it Agora. Okay. Agora is the town square. And what I want to do is just for us to use the making millionaire principle in order to raise millions of dollars, $1 million or $1 million plus, in order to incentivize two opponents to debate. It will reveal the idea. It will reveal their character. It will reveal if they understand really what they're talking about, if they're just spouting heads trying to clickbait you in order to give you their attention. Okay, I want to know which politicians, I want to know which leaders, I want to know which people actually know their stuff and are actually arguing from an honest place of understanding, and people who are just spouting off mantras and know exactly what to say to get the sheeps all excited and running off the cliff. Okay, that's what I want to reveal. So my idea is called Agora. It's using the making millionaire principle. Making millionaire principle is just this idea that there are enough of us that if we pool $1, $2, $5, $10 together, we can get millions. And if we can get millions together, then we can figure out, hey, what do we want to buy? What do we want to incentivize? Who do we want to give this money to? I started with a Black Money Matters in order to make Black millionaires. Well, this idea sets two opponents. You take Ben Shapiro and AOC, right? $5 million, which they split. They split the pot. So they get like 2.5 million each, let's say. And then let's see if they refuse. And on what grounds they refuse. You know what I mean? Like what grounds? Oh, he's just a no good, stupid. What grounds can you? I'm not going to dignify them with my time and my energy. You don't know people you can help with $2.5 million? Are there no homeless people? You don't pass by homeless people in New York, AOC? You know what I mean? Like that's what I want. So either they come to debate and we hear, I don't know what the structure is going to be like now, but at the very least, it's going to be a 3-hour conversation, Joe Rogan style, just talking. You have your questions from the audience, not live, but questions that the audience that we choose, not the questions the journalists put together, but questions. You have a moderator there who will push forward with the follow-ups, who will be monitoring and seeing what follow-ups are there, but mostly a free-flowing conversation between two parties. And let's just see. I always wondered, what does it sound like when Nancy Pelosi is in a room by herself with Donald Trump? How does she talk to him?
She talks to him about her fridge and all the ice cream inside of
it. Do you like ice cream? I like ice cream. I have the best ice cream in the whole world. Nobody has any better ice cream than I have.
One of the reasons I like the Agora is that, especially that name, is that Agora originally means the town square, but it also evolved over time to mean the marketplace of ideas. It's where the marketplace started to develop, and is where money started changing and value was more tied to currency. And so anything that ties back to money, sound money, and currency and all that, I'm all on board. And to treat because in this context you have both the concept of money and the concept of attention, right? Doing this idea and having these pools of money, but no one knowing about it, no one paying attention is not valuable. And having everyone pay attention to a thing, but there's no money, is not valuable. So the joining together is what gives it its oomph. Man, using money in order to solve ideas, using money to bully powerful people into sing and dancing for us. I like that. I like that. And because it's hard if like Ben Shapiro or whoever decides I'm going to give you I would give you $10 million to debate me, but if you don't, I'm not giving money to any homeless people. That's pretty rough. But if it's like disenfranchised people who goes, we're putting together this pool and we're waiting for you to come and sing for us, well, that would be pretty interesting. Who would be like on your short list of people to go and attack with this violence of an idea?
I'm not sure. Like AOC and Ben Shapiro is where I came up with the idea, because this happened, I don't know, 3 years ago. And I always thought it was kind of silly. Like, I really like AOC, and I was like, why won't she debate this dude? Like, like he didn't ask for a debate. He asked her to come on to his Sunday special. She could sit down and talk. And I've seen these Sunday specials that he has. It's just a conversation. He's very lightly putting forward his opinion. It's more about hearing what the other person has to say. Andrew Yang, presidential candidate, last go around, went on the Sunday special with Ben Shapiro, just a normal conversation. So it wasn't even a debate. But who I'd like to see, like, I don't know who the best people are to debate. Like, I don't know. The IDW, the intellectual dark web, the Sam Harrises, the Jordan Petersons, the Ben
They're dead.
Shapiro.
They're dead and gone. Okay.
I'd like to see, who the people are on the other side who would fight it. Ta-Nehisi Coates, AOC, Richard Wolff. I'd love to see Richard Wolff, socialist Richard Wolff, debate like a Milton Friedman type, or the guy.
Sure.
Oh, I'm losing my not my train of thought, but the guy who was
Thomas Sowell. You could do.
There's all kinds of people. Like, I don't know who the best people are. Like, I'm not going to pretend like my things. I'm going to put out a call to folks and ask them, hey, who do you think should debate? I'd like it if they were very polarizing. And I would like it like one of the debates that I find more boring are like when scientists debate, because they're mostly on the same side.
And they have no flair for anything.
There's no energy behind it. One debate I really liked was between Deepak Chopra and Richard Dawkins. It was very fascinating. It revealed like who was on the up and up, who know what they're talking about, who was just talking about gobbledygook, using words to sound all interesting. I'm not going to tell you who that was. I'm not going to tell you what position I'm in. But that was pretty fascinating. So I don't know. Maybe the public, I imagine, will come up with things that are way better than what I can come up with. But the match.
And this idea would have to be that the people are refusing to debate, and this is to draw them out.
They might not refuse. Like they might not be.
Otherwise, it's just like
debate.
It's like the monk debates or whatever. It's like debates that are happening anyway.
But if the people are going to be funding this, then the people are also going to choose who they want to match up. So what I expect to bubble up to the top are the people, or is a bout between two people that people are actually jazzed about. Like, you might not realize that you're excited to hear X debate Y until it's presented to you, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll put money down to see that. I'd like to see that. So at first I'm thinking, it'll be politician versus politician, but I'd like to hear Tulsi Gabbard go up against, Kamala Harris. But that's just me. That's just in the political world. But there might be other things. There might be like there's a debate happening in a couple of days on Stansberry Research between Frank Justra and Michael Saylor, Bitcoin versus gold. Oh God, I'm so excited about that! Right? It doesn't all have to be political. I'd love to hear some huge gold bug debate.
What day is
Bitcoin, that? The 21st, if I'm not mistaken.
So we got the 20th. That's Wednesday, so we'll talk about it on the Wednesday show.
Yeah, definitely. I was so excited about it. I'd like to hear Max Kaiser debate. Richard Wolff. Like I don't know who I don't know who the best people are, because you want to put up sort of similar weight class to another similar weight class. So I don't
Jimmy
want
Dore and Ryan Grimm. And he'll do it high, Peter. He'll do it high. Skull in his garage. Better journalist than everyone on the planet. No one's a better journalist than Jimmy Dore. Not even the journalist he invites on his show.
But that's the other thing. Like, I'd like to see people who are not debaters, who are not intellectuals, who are not experts in their field, who want to debate. Like, it could be just two people, like Jimmy Dore versus some other versus Dave Rubin or something. I don't know. I'm not even necessarily sure that they're against each other. And it could be on specific topics like socialism versus capitalism. And then we find the best champions for those two. So it might be a professor for capitalism and professor for socialism. Like, it might be that. It might be the topic that's interesting and not necessarily who. Or there might be multiple bites at the apple. Like, I don't know. It could be a group debating another group, although I think one-on-one is better. So that's the idea I have. I'm putting it out to the public. I'm going to ask them, who do you want to be matched up? Who would you pay for to do that? And what elements do you think makes for a good debate? I think a long form conversation reveals a lot about a person. It's one of the reasons Joe Rogan does 3-hour podcast episodes, is because you can bullshit someone for an hour, maybe 2. After 3 hours, of people poking you and prodding at you, you kind of reveal who you
So
are. I
you
saw
want the
that with
Frost
Candace.
Nixon debates? That's what you want.
Oh yeah, man, those old school style. I like to see Candace Owens go against AOC. Like Candace Owens went on. I absolutely love Candace Owens. Then she went on Joe Rogan and she got on the topic of global warming and she sounded like a religious nut. She had no
Really?
reason to believe what she believed. She just didn't trust the people who were saying it. So screw them. Well, that's a very flimsy way of debating. That's a very flimsy argument. And although everything else she said, I totally agreed with, I was like, this revealed somebody who's ideological, not somebody who is evaluating the principles on their face of it. So, I like to see all those things. And the more I think about it, the more I think I would come up with debates and people to talk to. There's some scientists I like to debate, some UFO people, and I like psychedelic debates, and I
Some
like questions about
flat
yeah.
earthers and the hollow earthers. I want them both to go. Hey,
It can be fun. It can be
it's a
fun.
hollow
So,
disc, is what they're going to conclude. The hollow disc.
you think we put it to rest the debate thing? We'll talk more about it. It's
Sure.
called Agora. If you are interested in that, go to youtube.com/happy for change and subscribe, or you can go to the Happy for Change audience. So join the Happy for Change audience over at facebook.com/happy for change. Just join the happy audience. That's an audience of people who are interested in what Happy for Change has to do, recognize the power of their attention, and are willing to do something small in order to bring about world change. That could be something small, like giving something your attention or giving a little bit of your money. There's a lot of fun things we can do there.